one of the scariest episodes in our Torah. In Hebrew, we refer to it as the tochecha, the rebuke, the warning for Bnei Israel when they don't follow the word of God. We actually had this at the end of Leviticus in Parashat Bechukotai as well. Over there, we had 48 different warnings and curses and wake-up calls. This week, there is 96. So it's definitely one of the most severe episodes in our Torah. Double of what we read last time. So the Zera Shimshon pays attention to the dichotomy between the blessing and the curse. Now listen to what he says. In chapter 28, verses 4 and 5, and I quote to you, Baruch peri vitnecha ufriad matecha. This is the blessing. If you do as God says, God will bless the fruit of your womb, children, the fruit of your land, ufri be'emtecha, and also the fruit of your livestock, shigara lafecha v'asherot zonecha, and the offspring of your cattle, and the flock of your sheep. And also, Baruch tanacha u'mishartecha, and blessed will be your basket and your kneading bowl. So if we look at the order is first blessing of children, and then blessing of parnasa. When it comes later on to the curses, same chapter, verses 17 and 18, the Torah swaps it. It starts by saying, Arur tanacha u'mishartecha, cursed will be your food in your basket and your kneading bowl. And then it says, Arur peri vitnecha ufriad matecha shigara lefecha v'asherot zonecha. And then it says, cursed will be the fruit of your womb, the fruit of your soil, the fruit of your livestock, and those born to your cattle and your flock and your sheep. So the Zera Shimshon asks a very basic question. When it comes to the blessings, why does the blessing for children come before the blessing of the livelihood? But when it comes to the curses, no, it's swapped. It's first the curse of the livelihood, and then the curse of the blessing. He quotes a Gemara, and he answers accordingly. The Gemara in Masechet Ketubot says as follows, that a house that has many people living in it is blessed tremendously, has extra blessing. And why? Well, the way the Zera Shimshon explains is because every individual comes with their mazal. Every neshama that is brought into this world has their mazal, and when the mazalot, all come together, that tremendous amount of magnitude attracts blessing from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But he takes it a step further. He says that the blessing that comes down is exponential. It's not if one person equals 10, 2 doesn't equal 20, and 5 doesn't equal 50. It goes up. From 1 to 10, it goes from 10 to 2 to 25, and on and on. And instead of 5 being 50, 5 is 85. And it goes up and up and up and up, because when people come together, all of their mazalot come together, and their neshamot have this exponential power of attraction of beracha and blessing that comes down. So based on that, Zera Shimshon says, the order of the psukim make perfect sense. When it comes to blessing, the first thing which activates blessing is children. So first, blessed be the children. And then blessed be the parnasa, the livelihood that comes after, because every child brings their blessing, their mazal, their neshama, their parnasa, and all together it's exponential and it's much greater than it would have been individually. But when it comes to the curses, the Zera Shimshon says, if we first would have been cursed for the children in the same order as the blessing, you might have only thought that, you know what we're going to lose out on? La alenu, we'll lose out on the kids, which is very, very horrible, but we're only going to lose out on an individual basis that extra amount of blessing that it came with, but not the original. So therefore the Torah comes and says, the livelihood, the parnasa, gone. That's the first thing that goes. The original dosage and the exponential dosage. And lo aleinu v'lo alechem, then come the children. And in this week's Torah portion, there are some very scary verses about when Yehudim don't follow the word of Torah, the words of our Hachamim, the derech, the path that the Torah sets out for us, how calamity and tragedy come. They befall on a person's livelihood, on their children, on themselves. Very, very scary things. And what we need to learn from this is that this world is for real. God expects something from each and every one of us. And there are consequences. Hopefully for the positive, but they're also for the negative. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a father. He's a parent. And a parent needs to reprimand at times. And the slap hurts. But we're smart. We're developed. We're 2018. Why do we need to wait till that? We have thousands of years of history to learn from the mistakes of the past. Ezu Hacham, who's a smart man? The Mishnah says in Masechet Avot, Halomed mikol adam. You learn from others. Learn from their good, but also learn from their mistakes. So you don't need to make the same mistake as the previous generation or the previous generations. That's what being developed is. That's what being modern is, in a good way. So that's one thing. Another thing, which I could not reiterate enough, is the concept of every child bringing their mazal and their parnasa. Time and time again, I've seen it many times, people come and tell me, whether they're observant or not, that every child that they brought into this world came with an abundance of parnasa. The Talmud says that the child, when they come into this world, they're coming with kikar biyado, with bread in his hand. Bread is parnasa. One calculation that there should not be, and I'm not going to get into the whole concept of family planning, because there is some reason to sometimes need to and other not. But an excuse of saying, I'm not going to have another child because tuition's too expensive, because I'm going to have to pay for their wedding, and it's too expensive to feed them and to clothe them for the next 18 years, is a shame. Because each and every child that comes to this world comes with parnasa. You might have other reasons. Some might be valid, some might not be. Might not have time, not have the psychological space, the room, the this. If it's anything that has to do with physicality and materialism and parnasa, woe to them. Because the Torah promises to each and every one that every child comes with mazal and comes with parnasa. I once heard the reason why we are all here today is for one reason and one reason only. If you think about what happened to us in our past, if you just go back to the Inquisition, you could go even before, but if you go to the Inquisition, the Holocaust, pogroms, terrorism, many Yehudim have been extinct from this world. And to whatever numbers we are reigning in nowadays, if it's 16 million, others say 18 million Jews worldwide, we barely move up. Means that we're not too many. But can you imagine if our grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents got into the mode of family planning? We wouldn't be here today. Think of it. How many siblings are your grandparents? My grandfather is one of 16. And I'm sure his parents and grandparents were one of the same or more. How would we be here if it wasn't for their mesirut nefesh? You think it's hard to have 5 kids nowadays? You think it's hard to have 10, 15 kids nowadays? It was much harder back then. But now we're busy. We're busy with work. We're busy with vacation. We're busy with friends. We're busy with our phones. We're busy with so many things that we're busy from being busy. And when we come back from vacation, we need a vacation from the vacation of the vacation that we just took. And the holiday's coming, we need a holiday from the holiday. And it's non-stop. And we don't have time for anybody. We don't have time for ourselves. And we don't have time for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's why people are, I can't fit it in my schedule, another kid and this and that. Back in the day, this was not heard of. And if we care about our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, we will fulfill the mitzvah of Pru Urvu and bring as many children as we can into this world. Now, I'm not saying you have an obligation to have 18 kids, but you do what you can. If either the mother or the father is going to have to go to the psychiatric ward, if they're going to have 10 kids, or even some 6 kids, don't put yourself there. You want to be able to raise them. But not because of parnasah. And not because you don't have enough time for more than a kid, a dog, a cat, and a fish. Because we have more time than that. So let's, in the merit of the Zera Shimshon, in the merit of hoping that Bnei Israel will see no more calamity, no more hardship, nothing that it says in this week's Parashat of the curses, only the blessings. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless all those who are of age to have children, bikdusha v'tahara, to bring holy neshamot with a lot of mazal, a lot of parnasah, a lot of hatzlacha into this world. Amen ve'amen.